All right, so I've been a busy little bee, and let's show you all the changes to the yard. I'm just going to kind of start, there's the front of the house. Start up here in the front corner. You know, my grass used to wrap around right here. Well, I'm going to continue that straight line with the pine needles all the way out to here. So all that brown dead grass you'll see is going to be pine needles. And then it'll kind of come right through here. Make my mowing a little bit easier. Whoever buys the house, the mowing will be a little bit easier. They don't have to mow right through there, and that'll be that. And plus, neighbors got some common Bermuda right in there. That way I don't have to deal with that. So all that's going natural. Pretty much the entire property, I came out roughly 18 inches. You can see the old grass line right there. I come out about 18 inches from that. You can't see the seed because I've rolled it. But when it comes up, you'll see the new outline. Really no other major changes to the front other than I brought in a new mix of dirt. We'll go over that in a minute. And pretty much leveled the front yard back out really, really well. Come back over on this side, looking back at the house that way. You can't see it, but there used to be a pretty good swale through here from the road all the way up to the sidewalk over there. It was just a nice swale. So it's got like 2 inches, maybe 3 inches of material kind of right in here, and then right around the street sign area right here. But other than that, there's only about 1 inch of this material over the whole yard, other than 2 areas, and this is one of them. This is one of the things I don't like about bare dirt renovation. Look at that. See that grass seed washing? It's just simply from the irrigation head, spewing a little bit. So every day, I'll come out here with a rake and just kind of gently rake that back around the irrigation head until it takes. But here's the other location. This is the backyard. There's the pergola. And this used to have a decent swale right here that would make the water go that way. Well, I just built this up maybe 2.5, 3 inches, maybe something like that, to kind of make it more of a smooth transition. There still is a little bit of a swell right here, but it's not nearly what it used to be. So got about 2 or 3 inches of material along this stretch. And like I said, the rest of the yard, pretty much about 1 inch over the whole thing. Continuing on around here, this used to be grass. Well, I got tired of mowing it because I would always throw clippings up in the pine needles. I side discharge. I'm not going to go grab a bagger just to mow this one spot. I don't have anywhere to dump the grass out here, so it's just not going to happen. So I made the bed come around these 2 trees, kind of cut back in a little bit, and then go back around over there, and then all this will get pine needles and just become a natural area. I'll probably put some stepping stones from the back patio out to where the grass starts. And pretty much the same thing all along the edge of the yard right there. Whoops, I'm about to get wet. All along the edge of the yard right there, everything's 18 inches in. And oh, look back there. Oh my. Got some new grass, but I do have some spots. See that dirt spot out there? I do have some spots that did not come in quite like I want them, and they're thin, and it's probably more than I want. Matter of fact, if you come right over here, you can see one more spot right there. And in some areas the grass is super thick, in some areas it's a little bit thin. So my plans are to cut the water off out there. I'm going to go buy me a dirt cheap push mower, like one of those $100 units you get at Lowe's or Walmart or something like that, that just you manually push. It's got a motor on it. 21 inch, and you can drop it down really, really short. And I'm gonna kind of semi-scalp that whole area, and then put a light dust in the seed over everything, and then put a little bit heavier in the bad spots. I'm gonna run over it with my Ventrac aerator while it's dry, and it'll kind of bust everything up again, and I'll get back to watering on that hardcore. So there were some other changes I made that are not just turf related. Remember my pergola that I had right here? If you've been watching my shorts or the Instagram reels you've been seeing, I took this section up. I took this section up that was here, and I took the section up that was over here. There used to be a Japanese maple right here. It's gone now. Oh my gosh, I've just had a brain fart. I cannot remember what the name of that bush is. Crap. Somebody remind me of what that is. I give it to my wife for a wedding anniversary a very, very, very long time ago. I can't remember what the name of the bush is. Oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. Whatever it is, I cut it. Hydrangea. That's what it was, a hydrangea. I cut it. It's a lace cap hydrangea, actually. I cut it way back to nothing but sticks. Yes, it will grow back out, and it will be completely fine. That's about the third time I've actually done that to that plant. But now I can get in here and prune the camellia, and I actually see that weeping Japanese maple, and maybe my hosta will do a little bit better. They are jacked up looking. They were just completely overgrown over here. So now it's kind of opened this whole area up. Now, why did I take the pergolas down? Well, the reason I did that is they were rotted. You can see my irrigation head right there, and then one of the pergola posts was right here. And so it just gets some overspray of the water for the last, 12 years or so. Same thing with that one, same thing with that one. This one right here, when I was taking it down, it actually just broke off at the ground because it just too much water. This right here, this part of the pergola is still standing fine because, you know, all it gets is the normal weather rainwater. It's not pounded by irrigation all the time. So plans are, I'm gonna get somebody to come out and fix some of the wood that, you know, is kind of damaged and yucky looking, and then we're gonna pressure wash it, restain it, and get it all nice and neat and clean before we sell the house. So let's talk about this mix I got right here. This is a custom mix that I had made, and it is a combination of some sand and compost and screen topsoil. You can see when it gets moist, see how it clumps up and holds its shape like that. Then when you barely push it, touch on it, it kind of falls apart. That's absolutely ideal, in my opinion, for a growing media, however you say it. Look at that. See how it holds that moisture right there? That's absolutely. Ooh, there was a, where'd it go? That was a GCI 2808 Preel right there. It's kind of in the ground. So why did I choose sand, compost, and topsoil? A mixture of it. Well, easy. The sand is actually in there for grading purposes, so that I can get an ultra fine grade. I mean, dude, this is probably hands down probably one of the best grading jobs I have ever done in my entire life. Look at how slick that is. You can actually come out here. Matter of fact, I just did it. You can go see it on my Instagram page. I took a golf ball and put it right here and putted it across it. It is smooth as a golf green out here. The yard has never been this smooth ever before. The reason it's like that is it's got a little bit of sand in the mixture. That way I can ultra fine grade it. I mean, just super fine grade it. Use the ABI force on it. It's got the compost and the topsoil for obviously a little bit of organic material. And then the topsoil is kind of acting like a binder so that when I pick it up and squeeze it, it retains moisture and it holds it all together. So in my opinion, I think it's an ideal mix to use planting a yard. And you know, want the yard as fantastic as it can possibly be for the new homeowners. When they're showing the house and people are coming to look at it and they ride up and see the grass, I want them to just say, snap. Holy cow, I want that yard. The house can just come with it. That's what I want the potential buyers to say. So realistically, that's the only reason I'm going through all this trouble to do a hyper annual renovation, to take it to this extent and do this type of work. And of course, you heard my other video too. I mean, it has got fescue in it. It had bluegrass I introduced. It had ryegrass in it. And I wanted a pure premium stand of turf fescue. So I went with a GCI turf type tall fescue. And back there in the back, that fescue come up in, I believe, 5 days, I believe. It was up and running. And so I expect this to be up in 4 to 5 days too. Now let's talk about the cornrows. I saw some comments on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere, folks talking about the cornrows, or was I planting corn in the yard? Well, that is a combination of two things, those grooves or those lines you see. Once I had it graded, I put the seed down, okay? Then you want to press the seed down into the ground. Well, you can do that with a smooth roller, or you can do that with a cultipacker. And it's simply the shape of a cultipacker disc that creates those grooves. Okay, with this material being what's the good word? As soft as it is, it adheres to the shape of whatever type of roller that you roll over the ground. So that's kind of why you saw those cornrow looking things. And so I had planned on leaving it like that, 100% leaving it like that, because once you put water to it and it rains on it, all that's just going to wash in together and smooth out like a baby's butt, because it has some sand in it. When you go to the beach and you see the ocean water kind of come up onto the beach and then go back down, how smooth it leaves it. It's the same concept right here. And like I said, that's why I put some sand in this 3-part mix that I had made up. But I took this as a good, learning opportunity for folks. So the easiest way to get rid of those ridges, if you don't like them, is to take a rake and push the rake. I don't like pulling the rake because then it can dig into the ground and move too much seed around. But if you push the rake and your material is fine enough to where the material filters through the teeth of the rake, then you can just push and knock those little ridges down. Well, I wanted to take it a little step further and show you a different way to leave the yard, and that is with a smooth roller. So I took my Ventrac roller and rolled over the entire yard, and that is how I got it putting green flat, is with that roller. It's just a smooth barrel roll that goes on the front of the Ventrac, and it's absolutely amazing what the yard looks like. It is just nuts how good this looks. I cannot wait to put a mower on it. Cannot wait. Now, a little bit more about this material. I know some of you is thinking, well, if it's got sand in it, it ain't going to do all that great. Well, it's going to drain a little bit better because it does have some sand in it. But the compost and topsoil is going to help it retain water, so it's not going to dry out quite like you think it will. It's not going to sink down when I go to mow it because, one, my mowers aren't all that heavy, and two, it's because it does have the compost and the topsoil in it, so it will have some structure to it. Once the root system starts digging into the ground here, and this will all firm up nicely just like you'd want it to, and then I'll be able to mow it and it will not track it. It won't do any of that. So right now I'm basically testing my irrigation to see how long I need to water, and you can see this puddling I'm getting right here. So that means I'm watering too long. So I need to set back the minutes on how long I'm watering just before I see that. And then I can set it to run more frequently. You know, it will water more oftentimes, but not as long of a time, because I don't want to see that puddling right there. So the golf green is still intact. I had a guy comment, are you going to take the green up when you sell the house? Why in the world would I even do that? That makes absolutely no sense to me. No, this is going to be a selling feature of the house that, in my opinion, and I think most realtors will agree with me, that it's going to add a considerable amount of value to the house, especially if a avid golfer just so happened, luck of the draw, comes and looks at the house. He'll have him a full-blown putting green back here. But check this out. I want you to, here's the light system I had put in. You can see the lights right there. Watch how different this looks when I turn the light on. That is absolutely nuts. Those three little lights right there light up this entire spot right here. So we can have quite a bit of fun with the family and with my boys out here playing golf, even if it's dark. So got the Ventrac loaded. I gotta get my tractor loaded up, run it back to the shop. And basically all it is now is keeping this ground moist, and we'll have some seed pop up in 4 to 5 days. So anyway, appreciate you watching. Check you later.